Your dog licks you. Most owners get this wrong. Your dog licked you today. Maybe on your hand, maybe on your face. Maybe the second you walked through the door. And chances are, you barely thought about it. You laughed. You wiped it off, you called it cute, and you moved on. But what if I told you that one of the most common things your dog does to you is also one of the most misunderstood? Because your dog is not always licking you for the reason people think. Most owners hear the same explanation over and over again. It means love. And yes, sometimes it does. But that is not the whole story, not even close. Because sometimes your dog is bonding with you. Sometimes they are trying to calm themselves. Sometimes they are reconnecting with you after you've been away. And sometimes, they may be reacting to something happening in your body before you even notice it yourself. So stay with me, because once you understand what licking really means, you are never going to look at your dog the same way again. 1. Most people think licking is simple. It isn't. To a dog, licking is not just affection, it is communication. Dogs do not rely on words the way we do. They use behavior, repetition, scent, contact, tiny physical signals loaded with meaning, and licking is one of the clearest signals they have. The problem is, most owners only know how to read one version of it. They see a lick and think, my dog loves me. But dogs are more layered than that. Their behavior is more precise than that. And if you treat every lick like it means the exact same thing, you miss what your dog may actually be trying to say. That is where almost everyone gets it wrong. 2. Your dog learned the meaning of licking before they understood the world. Before a puppy knows toys, routines, rules, or even your face, they know the mother's tongue. The mother licks the puppy to stimulate breathing, to clean them, to circulate blood, to comfort them, to signal safety, to keep them alive. Think about how deep that goes. One of the first sensations a dog associates with care is licking. That matters, because the dog's nervous system does not forget those early patterns. It builds on them. So later in life, licking remains connected to comfort, closeness, and social attachment. That means when your dog licks you, part of what you are seeing is something incredibly old. Not a random habit. Not meaningless excitement. An instinct tied to safety from the very beginning of life. And once you understand that, the behavior starts to feel different. Because now it is not just cute. Now it is personal. 3. Sometimes your dog licks you because they are grooming you. And that sounds small until you understand what grooming means in social animals. Grooming is not just cleaning. It is relationship. It is how bonded animals maintain closeness. It is how they reinforce trust. It is how they say, without words, you are part of my group. So when your dog licks your hand while lying next to you, or licks your face when they are calm, or keeps coming back to you with soft eyes and relaxed body language, they may be doing something deeper than most people realize. They may be tending to you. Not because you need cleaning, because in their world, this is part of what closeness looks like. This is how they maintain the bond. That rough little tongue may be your dog's version of saying, you belong with me, we are connected, you are one of mine. And for a dog, that is not a small message. 4. Now here is where it gets more interesting. Sometimes your dog licks you right after you come home. And most people see that and think one thing. They missed me. Yes, but there may be more going on than that. When you leave the house, you come back carrying other scents, other places, other people, other surfaces, other animals. The outside world sticks to you in ways you cannot detect. Your dog can. So when they lick your hands, your face, or your skin right after you return, they may not just be showing excitement. They may be investigating, reconnecting, re-establishing the familiar version of you. Almost like they are saying, you were out there. Now you are back here, back with me. That is why post-separation licking can feel so intense. It is emotional, yes, but it is also sensory. Your dog is processing where you have been and regrounding themselves in your scent, your presence, your place in their world. That is not random affection, that is reconnection. 5. But here is the part most owners never want to hear. Licking is not always a sign of calm love. Sometimes it is stress. This is where people misunderstand their dogs the most. A dog that gives a few soft licks in a relaxed moment is one thing. A dog that licks frantically, repeatedly, compulsively, especially during tension, is something else. Because dogs often repeat behaviors that help regulate their nervous system, and licking can be one of them. So if your dog starts licking you a lot when the room is chaotic, when strangers are over, when you are upset, when your tone changes, or when they seem restless and unable to settle. That may not be simple affection. That may be your dog trying to soothe themselves, trying to create familiarity, trying to lower stress, trying to feel okay again, and that matters because the meaning changes the way you respond. Not every loving-looking behavior is actually about comfort. Sometimes it is about needing comfort, and that is a completely different thing. 6. There is another reason your dog may lick you that people almost always overlook. Your body. Dogs experience the world through scent in a way humans cannot truly imagine. They notice chemical changes before you do, stress hormones, skin shifts, unusual smells, tiny biological changes that your own senses would never pick up. That is why some dogs become fixated on licking one specific area of a person's body. Not once, not casually, repeatedly. And while that does not automatically mean something is wrong, it is not something you should always ignore either, because sometimes dogs focus on a place for a reason. They may be detecting irritation, inflammation, a subtle change in scent, something different, something unusual. This is one of those moments where people laugh it off, and sometimes that is fine. But sometimes your dog is paying attention to something before you are, and that should make you stop and think. 7. There is also a more emotional layer that almost nobody talks about. When your dog licks your face, especially in close, vulnerable moments, that behavior can carry a kind of status and attachment signal. In early life, puppies lick the mother's muzzle to seek food, comfort, and closeness. That pattern does not just vanish when they grow up, parts of it stay. So when your dog comes to your face gently, repeatedly, with that soft, focused energy, they may not just be showing love. They may be treating you as their central figure, their safe place, the being they return to for reassurance and connection. That is why licking can feel strangely intense sometimes. Because in your dog's world it is intense. It is old, it is instinctive, it is deeply tied to attachment. And maybe that is why so many people feel something in their chest when their dog does it, because even if they cannot explain it, part of them knows this moment means more than it seems. Now pull all of this together. When your dog licks you, it can mean affection. It can mean bonding. It can mean grooming. It can mean reconnection after absence. It can mean self-soothing. It can mean they are noticing something about your body. And sometimes, it can mean all of those things at once. That is why this behavior matters so much. Not because licking itself is magical, because it reveals how complex your dog really is. Your dog is not just reacting. They are interpreting. They are feeling. They are remembering. They are responding to you in layers most people never slow down long enough to notice. And maybe that is the real point. The things dogs do every day are easy to dismiss because they happen all the time. The lick on your hand. The lick on your face. The little burst of attention that lasts 2 seconds and disappears. But inside those tiny moments is a whole language. A language built from instinct, trust, scent, memory, and attachment. And your dog has been speaking it to you this whole time. The only question is whether you are hearing what they are actually saying. Because once you do, it stops being just licking. It becomes recognition, connection, comfort, trust. And sometimes, something even deeper than love.